Babble, oh, psychobabble. You're out in the sea, now it's fading to black. I threw it away, 'cause I don't want it back. I don't care when it's all psychobabble
And just like that, we're live. Wow, I can see there's a delay, a bit of a delay behind us there. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Man, I'll pop in here. You got people already making comments, getting some text messages here. Let's take a look. Okay, all set that way. Now, how's everybody doing? Carol's crazy. Hello. What's happening? Ah, cool avatar. I like it. Twisted, rebuildable Ryan. Checking the weather, 615. I like that. Honey Badger. Austin, react. What's happening? Everybody. Yeah, hit that like button, man. Let's get some people in here. Doesn't cost anything to smack that, and it keeps us going a little bit. You know, I just blown away at watching Upchurch's victim video today. For those of you who didn't see it, he's, of course, he's a victim now of the Rodni family. They're picking on him. With these weirdos from California are picking on him because all he did was just have an opinion. And brother, you went way far beyond an opinion. Okay. You inserted yourself into that in a way that you were doing live streams, and you had convinced yourself that you and the knuckleheads with you were actually uncovering actual clues to that crime, and that the police were investigating. You insinuated that the police were investigating the people you were accusing, such as Xana May, a two-time war veteran, female, legal immigrant that was working at NASA, or Tony Dodge, a guy that ran an adult. Pay attention, an adult-oriented comedy podcast once a week where they told raunchy adult jokes. And a brother from California that does a lot of live streams with several of his videos have went viral, where he is live streaming police chases in California. I remember one that raged on for 2 hours, where the guy ran to a gas station and stole a car, and then ran it out of gas, went to a gas station, stole another car, ran it out of gas, stole another car, before he finally got caught. And Ickadmel happened to be one of the guys that just started streaming that right away. And, his stream was on the news on several channels. And just, and there you are claiming that he is, involved in selling, young folks. And so you did way beyond having an opinion, Mr. Upchurch, the victim. Now he's the victim. In the beginning of his video, he does talk about Nicole Arbor. Now, there have been times when Ryan was actually the victim of just nonsense, right? Like Nicole Arbor. Okay, that, hey, I'm with him on that one. Legit as can be. She's a Looney Tune. She was trying to make a money grab, and so yeah, you could call yourself a victim in that case. But none of the rest of them, nah. The stuff that all the other stuff, you chose to put that online. It's just like the beefing with your parents. Okay, that didn't need to be done on your YouTube channel. You didn't need to take a family dispute to 3 million subscribers. That's just you making poor decisions with your career and your channel. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys a little bit of a highlight from this video, and let's see if we can pull it up here. I guess I got to get in here and fool around a little bit with all the stuff that well, see if we can find it here. Big. See if I can find just tinker with all the changes. It looks like StreamYard's changed a bunch of stuff. Now I bought another Stream Desk, a Roadcaster video, but I haven't had a chance to just raw stream from it yet. I'm still streaming up to StreamYards and then out, just because I haven't had time to fool with it. But at soon, it's this guy. I don't know. I don't watch Uncle Will, so I wouldn't have any idea. Someone would have to tell me what he said, I guess. So anyway, it would, where was I? Oh, I got to get in here and mess around with these settings because I don't know what the hell they do. And then this new Stream Desk, I ain't spent 5 minutes with it yet because I just haven't dedicated the time. But yeah, no, I'm being dead serious. I don't watch his stuff. I wouldn't have any clue what he said. I wouldn't watch a simpleton like that. That guy's got the education. He's got like a 4th grade education. He's a complete failure at life. At his age, he still has to mooch. Lives like just a turd, like an animal. He can't provide for himself. His entire skill set is that of an entry level job fixing flat tires. And to him, big money is selling used tires. So his opinion, what value could it possibly have? It would be like getting the opinion of a homeless guy on how to do your banking, or getting the opinion of Ryan Upchurch on how to build a shining career online that's got a constant upward trajectory. I mean, you wouldn't go to those people for those opinions, right? So why would anyone go to Uncle Will for any kind of opinion other than how to live? An opinion that you could get from Uncle Will would be how to be a career moocher and live for free and not have to work much until you've exhausted all resources, and then get an entry-level job fixing flat tires, the kind of job that a 16-year-old kid would get that's in the OWE program at high school. I mean, to a step up from the job that Uncle Will has would be a Jiffy Lube, where you're just, taking a drain plug out and watching the oil drain out and then putting the drain plug back in. I mean, you're talking about a simpleton who did a 2-hour live stream explaining how a car's electronics wouldn't be affected by being underwater. It's just stupid. Okay. So yeah, somebody would have to tell me what kind of diarrhea was coming out of his mouth before I'd have an opinion, because I would never, there's just nothing going on his channel that would interest me enough to even care to listen. It's a sad thing watching the way that he simps, the way that he completely sells out every microspeck of dignity that you could possibly have to simp for Upchurch, because Upchurch gave him some money once. If Upchurch had never gave Uncle Will any money, you wouldn't see this. But he thinks that if he keeps making videos agreeing with everything Ryan says, that Ryan's going to give him some more money. And to him, you know, $500 free money or $400 free money, that's like, that would be like, you know, someone like myself hitting the lottery for 5 million. You know, it's like, that's just a big deal to him. So he has dedicated his entire life, sold out his dignity to in hopes that he's going to get something for free. So I don't know why anybody would care to listen to his opinion about anything. The guy has failed at every aspect of life. Why would you listen to him for an opinion on anything? I mean, and need I remind everybody who's been the only one that's been 100% consistent and 100% correct from day one, without getting down in the mud and wallowing like a pig, the way that creeksquad has had to do. Just saying. Just saying. So let's take a look at this video. There. You guys remember this ad? Who remembers this? This was the Maxell metal tape ad from the 70s. If you were into stereos and stuff back then, this ad would have been on all the magazines and all that. Or it was Memorex. Was it XL or Memorex? Memorex. You're right. Dude's right. Yeah. It was Memorex. You're right. I don't know why I was thinking Maxell. Anyway, those speakers there, that is an L100 from JBL. And that speaker, along with the HPM 100 from Pioneer, both of those speakers are considered like the holy grail of affordable hi-fi, high fidelity speakers. And once you've heard some and you understand, I've heard speakers that sound better. If you're really, really, really into, the audiophile thing, I've heard them that sound a little better, a little thicker, a little deeper at a lower volume, certainly, right? There's speakers out there that are, $250,000. And it sounds like the instrument is being played live right in front of you. But for a speaker that's under $1,000 for a pair of speakers, these things are incredible. They'll take everything you throw at them. I had to give you an example, I have a set of these in my stereo room. And I had a Carver TFM 75, which is 750 watts bridge to mono, and 375 watts per channel stereo at 8 ohms. And you could just twist the knob off and these speakers would scream for more and just pin you against the wall. Thick, solid bass. Tom, like with the tom drums ruling the song, like I used to listen to a lot of Rush, and man, he'd do them long drum rolls and it would just pound on your chest bones. as the drums rolled through the stereo, But anyway, yeah, I forgot I had that picture, and I thought, I'll throw that baby up there. So anyway, let's review this.
Cheatham County, Tennessee. How we doing today, baby? This video is unofficially sponsored by Martinelli's Apple Juice. Why? Because it's from here, baby.
So what you got going on here? Now, I edited this. I've just chopped a few pieces out of it to highlight, to just make my point. What's going on here, in case you guys don't know, and many of you don't. First he lied to you guys and said he won in court, right? Again, he lied to his audience. He always does. And there's a reason why he lies to you, because he knows you're stupid enough to believe it. Crack Squad, that's all. The Uncle Wills, those types, they're dumb. And so he knows they're going to believe what he says. And and he knows that they'll just regurgitate what he says like, mindless drones. And he told his Crack Squad cult that he won in court the other day. He didn't win in court. He offered a settlement, and one of them took it. The rest of them said, no thanks. And so right now they're in this discovery phase in court. You kind of go through that before you present this to a jury, because bringing a jury is very expensive to do. So you want to see if you can reach something before you go that far with it. So you go through this discovery phase, and what he's trying to do right now, since looks like the jury pool is going to come from Tennessee and not California, as he's trying to poison the jury pool and maybe get like the judge that lives in that area sympathetic to his bullshit. So that's what this is all about, in case you don't know. That's why this video appeared today. Was he's trying to get sympathy, because hearing what he did to the Rodni family in a matter-of-fact tone, in a sterile environment like a courtroom, it sounds as bad as it was, right? He can't spin it. He can't, he doesn't have, an Uncle Will there, going, oh, it's great. He's wonderful. He's Jesus Christ, the third one. He can walk on water. Okay. So, there it is. That's it in a nutshell. And, so that's why we see this video. That's all it's about. They're in court, and they don't want to take his crappy little offers. And to think that all he would have had to done, probably, I'm betting that had he just apologized when he realized that he was so wrong, it was laughable, he probably wouldn't be here today. But rather than apologize for being wrong, his ego is such that he will go broke rather than just say, I was wrong. He's willing to risk being wiped out rather than just say, you know what, I probably shouldn't have said all that stuff about them. I was completely wrong. Because what he's trying to do here is defend, let's go a little further and then we'll talk about it.
It's good as hell. All right, so look, I'm just going to spit it to you straight. So flat out, this video is what it is. It's me, a citizen of Cheatham County, speaking to the other folks in Cheatham County. Now look, I get asked a lot of fucking crazy questions out in public in Cheatham County. Now don't get me wrong, it's totally understandable based on about a 4-year span of my life that was absolutely crazy. which really wasn't by choice, but I mean, hey, you got to roll with the punches, right? You can't just fucking lay down and die and be like, oh man, poor me. If you live around here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's really no need to elaborate on it. Everybody in this town knows what I've gone through with my family over the years.
Nobody would know if you hadn't have used your YouTube channel to fight your arguments with people. But you know, you use your YouTube channel as a weapon. You use your fan base as a weapon. And so now everybody knows shit they probably shouldn't know, and about maybe 1/8 of it's got any actual facts to it. The rest of it's just you pulling the victim card and making shit up. What you got here? It says, yeah, I know. Nick Rick says, said he had to settle with Ickadmel. All Ickadmel did was just talk about the same case a little bit. He says, I can't imagine what the Rodni family is going to take from. Hopefully, all of it. You know, I mean, you know, crying mind no longer deserves it. Yeah, I agree, man. He went way beyond an opinion, way beyond. I mean, he injected himself in this case. He was offering $100,000 reward, and he was live streaming from a 3,000 subscriber YouTube channel, and he was saying, I've solved the case. These people are stupid. The government's afraid of me because I found this out. And in addition to making those claims, he doxed people. And I mean, like, in crack, you guys know how Crack Squad is. Everybody knows how they are. He knows how they are. And the hell that was unleashed on a bunch of innocent people was just uncalled for. That's way beyond an opinion. You know, it's almost like you yell fire at a packed arena. You know, you go to the Upchurch concert and it's a packed arena, and there's 15,000 people in there, and you jump up and scream fire, and everybody goes stampeding out, and about 6 people get killed, and you know, a bunch of people don't get to see the concert now because, you know, it's all got to be shut down and the place is wrecked. And you go, oh man, what's wrong, man? Don't I have freedom of speech? It was just my opinion, you know. I was just giving my opinion on, you know, why it might be warm in here. No, dude, you yelled fire in a crowded theater and it caused a stampede and people got hurt, and the promoters lost money, the artists lost money, and no, this ain't freedom of speech, right? And that's the nonsense he's trying to do here. He's trying to act as though all he did was go, had you said, Ryan, I think she might not be real. Had you said that maybe once, okay. That ain't what you did, man. You insisted that you were better than any other true crime podcaster, and you insisted that you had all the facts. And you did it multiple times over multiple months. But the carrying on about no one ever showed me proof that Kiely Rodni was real. You don't get to ignore reality and then claim nobody made their case. And that's what it would have taken to assume that that girl wasn't real and that it was fake. You would have to willfully, knowingly, and purposely ignore factual reality to make a conclusion like that. Because you're not going to get that many people to to work together to scam GoFundMe for $1,500 or $2,500, and to even top it off, the GoFundMe account that was put up with on Kiely's behalf was not for the family. It was for the volunteers. It was to get food, hotel rooms, and accommodations for all the volunteers that were there for days at a time. That's what it was for. So the Rodni family wouldn't even have had access to that money. It's just ridiculous. And there, you know, when you're, you know, Alex Jones tried the same. Honestly, Alex Jones tried the same defense. Oh, it's just my opinion. But the problem was, you shared that opinion. He shared that opinion on his he was live streaming his show 4 hours a day. I think it was 2 hours at noon and then 2 hours again, like late in the afternoon. But he was pretty consistent, and it was syndicated. And so he said those things to millions, and that's why he lost. And that's the same thing that's going to happen to Upchurch here. He's going to lose. This freedom of speech, just giving my opinion, isn't going to hold up in front of a jury, because the absurdity of claiming that the girl wasn't real when there's just an overwhelming abundance of evidence, if you just chose to look at it, that she certainly was real.
So I understand why y'all ask me these questions out in public. Now, me being on the news for bogus fucking stupid shit is nothing new. It's been happening for years, all the way up until about a few months ago. Now, the reason I was...
No, it's only happened twice. It's again, this is Ryan lying to his crack squad cult because he knows they're incredibly stupid and they'll believe him. You know, people can see how many times you've been on the news, Ryan, and it's been 2 times. The stupid victim lady got a 30-second news job on you with that Nicole Arbor crap, and I'm sure that's because some people probably got paid, right? And it was bullshit. In this case, the lawyer for the Rodni family offered to share the story with the local media, and they bit and made a story out of it. You're a celebrity in the area. So of course, when you do really stupid shit or you're involved in something really stupid, you know, it's probably going to be news. But for him to claim he's been on TV a bunch of times, no, it was 2 times. 2 times. And one time he was the victim. The second time, no, not even close.
On the news this last time is because I told somebody they were full of shit. Yes, that's it.
True crime podcast.
He says that all he did was tell the Rodni family they were full of shit. That's all he did. So he says. And we all know it was a lot more than that. Round table. What? How many were there?
And YouTube channels, they've really exploded in popularity in the past several years. But is there a limit to what people can and cannot say in discussing theories around crimes?
WSMV4 investigative reporter Stacey Cameron looked into a federal lawsuit facing a Nashville YouTube star and reveals how it could shape the way crimes are discussed.
Need you to be looking out for Kiely and Kiely's car.
When 16-year-old Kiely Rodni vanished after attending a party in August of 2022, her mother's desperate plea for help.
My head is all over the place and I'm terrified.
Turned the search for her daughter into an international story. But the news took a tragic turn.
A heartbreaking end to the more than 2-week-long search.
When investigators in California determined she accidentally drowned after driving her car into a lake the night she went missing. But according to attorney Chris Smith,
they're still obviously grieving.
Rodni's death was just the beginning of her family's pain because true crime conspiracy videos
show me real proof of Kiely Rodni existing.
Like this one, posted by Nashville YouTube star Ryan Upchurch, took the case viral. And Smith says when Upchurch told his 3 million followers that the Rodnis faked everything to make money on GoFundMe,
it's a scam.
The family hired him to sue Upchurch for defamation, claiming his videos caused mental and psychological damage.
You know, he at one point, he told his fans, you know, creeksquad was right on the had started to abandon him at this point when this was going down. He was losing views and support like mad, and he told Crack Squad, the simpletons that enable him still today, that go get them, stand up, go get these people. I mean, what he did, man. And guess what they did? What do you think Uncle Will did? You think Uncle Will went on the Rodni family's lodge website and made comments in their contact forms? Well, of course he did. You think he sent them email? Well, of course he did. You think he did a bunch of videos repeating what Ryan said? Well, of course he did. There were channels repeating this crap that came out of Ryan's mouth right and left. There was one live streamer, a crack squadian, so to speak. His channel was called the Kiely Rodni channel. It's literally what his channel was called. And there's people that still repeat the nonsense that came out of his mouth still today. Still today. When they literally watched her be retrieved live on the news from multiple reputable news agencies, like 3 different news agencies were there. And the simpletons in Crack Squad, the Uncle Wills, believed Ryan that they were all actors and faking it. That's the level of intelligence we're dealing with here.
Why?
National story, but the news took a tragic turn.
A heartbreaking end to the more than 2-week-long search.
When investigators in California determined she accidentally drowned after driving her car into a lake the night she went missing. But according to attorney Chris Smith,
they're still obviously grieving.
Rodni's death was just the beginning of her family's pain because true crime conspiracy videos
show me real proof of Kiely Rodni existing.
Like this one, posted by Nashville YouTube star Ryan Upchurch, took the case viral. And Smith says when Upchurch told his 3 million followers that the Rodnis faked everything to make money on GoFundMe,
it's a scam.
The family hired him to sue Upchurch for defamation, claiming his videos caused mental and psychological damage.
Do you think there's an incentive for people to publish these types of videos?
Absolutely. If that video goes viral, then you get subscribers, you get clicks, and you might get money.
Upchurch isn't the only person sued for posting controversial videos about real crimes. Earlier this year, TikTok psychic Ashley Gillard was sued for claiming a University of Idaho professor ordered the killing of 4 students. And InfoWars founder Alex Jones got hit with multiple suits for saying the Sandy Hook Elementary massacre was a hoax. But when it comes to videos like Upchurch's,
can the companies that offer the platform be held liable?
Generally, no.
Vanderbilt law professor Jennifer Safstrom says companies like YouTube can't be sued because they're not the ones talking. And to win in court, Safstrom says you basically need to prove the person posting knew they were lying.
See, I would argue that, and that's been a sore spot. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Yep. And he doubled down. He not only doubled down, Twisted, but he told his longtime fans, like his OG fans, like if they didn't like the fact that he was slandering this grieving family, they could just, F off. Didn't even, he literally would he would take the opinion of some simpleton like Uncle Will, who ain't never had $1 to buy one single thing ever, has never bought anything, never bought a song, never bought a shirt, never bought a hat, never bought a belt, probably never even went to the Redneck Nation website. Rather than his longtime fans that gave him the money to, be wealthy. It's a shame, but that is exactly what he did. And, yeah. So how we doing, Ronnie? Anyway, I don't know. I think, I think at this point, there's probably not a chance in hell he's ever going to look back and admit that he was wrong and that it was extremely mean-spirited to use his channel and get his fan base involved to that degree and energized to that degree and never walk it back once he knew he was wrong.
Not just sharing what they think about a high-profile crime.
Is someone's opinion protected from a defamation lawsuit?
Absolutely.
In a statement sent to WSMV4 Investigates, Upchurch's lawyer says opinion is the defense he looks forward to presenting in court. But Smith doesn't buy the argument.
Everyone gets their own opinion, but not their own facts.
Saying he thinks Upchurch's video was so outrageous that the jury, in this case, is going to send a message.
I do too. And there's a big difference between saying alleged, I think, maybe, and what's up, true crime community? I bet the government is watching this. And I bet they're scared. Sometimes the victim isn't looked at because they're the victim. Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot more than an opinion.
There's a limit to your freedom of speech.
According to Professor Safstrom, the hardest part of bringing a defamation case is finding a lawyer. She says it's kind of like looking for a doctor. You can't just pick anyone and expect to be okay. Plus, these cases, they cost a lot of money and take a long time. I'm told the Upchurch case, it probably won't go to trial for 2 years.
Did nobody tell this guy that I don't give a shit? I guess not. I don't care if it takes 10 fucking years and I have to spend $10 million. You're not going to tell me I'm not allowed to have an opinion about something. Especially when all I'm saying is, show me proof of this person. And
I don't know. Show me proof of this person. Here we are. It is 2025. We're in the 3rd year. And he's still saying stupid shit like this. Show me proof of this person. That's not an opinion. You're doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on statements, and this is gonna backfire. This was a really dumb video to make, and I think his attorney If his attorney ain't calling and screaming at him right now, I don't know. I wouldn't call him an attorney. They're probably, I would bet that chick is just digging, getting money, and just, she's just helping clean his wallet out, just like, his lawyer is just another Deerdorf or Be Loose or, any of them guys, right? Another Uncle Billy, just, gimme, money, money, money. And she doesn't have a lick of respect for him. She don't care, nothing. Because if she cared, she'd tell him, dude, you take that damn video down or I'm not even going to represent you. Because this is so damning to a defamation case, because he's doing it more. No one's ever showed me proof that she existed. He knows that the fan base that he has left, all 3,000 of them, are stupid. And just incredibly stupid people. IQs that they probably couldn't, these people probably could not take an end of class test for the 6th grade and pass it. I know Uncle Will couldn't. And he's probably the smartest one of them.
No one does. So what? So now I'm in court with some random ass people from California?
Random ass people. No, it's the Rodney family. It's the people you accused of faking having a child and faking that the child was missing because they wanted to scam some chump change from GoFundMe when these people owned a lodge in the area. They had a business that was the crack squad just was all over it. They were dealing with a real estate deal that crack squad was making comments, and just it goes on and on.
Who are like trying to force me to say that this person's real. Listen, brother, I don't see anything that shows that this person is fucking real. I'm not going to sit here and say that.
Somebody show me proof that Upchurch is real, man. There's no proof he's real.
I believe something I haven't seen.
Okay, all right, let me pull this down a second. Show me proof that she's real. Oh my God. That is so funny because it's what do you think when they winched the car up and they put the sheet over it and people were crying and everything? What dude, just another video to show the jury, I guess. I mean, I can't believe his lawyer isn't livid because it just makes her job harder. I just think she just, give me more money. I'll get you out of this one. Give me another. I don't think she's giving him legal advice. She's just telling him how much it's going to cost to get out of the mess he's in. Oh, listen to this. The Honda CR. What's this? Look at this. The Honda CR 500 ain't real. Okay. All right. I wouldn't bank on that, but okay. Uh-huh. Probably do a lot more dirt bike riding this year. I got another bike, so my boy can go with me. He ain't had a bike. My middle boy ain't had a bike a couple years. And I got my brother's KTM. So now I got 2 good running bikes down here. I don't know. Okay. You know, I was gonna say, you know, I seen that on who was that? Was it oh, I know what it was. Hold on one sec. Let me find something here. Hold on one sec. Okay, yeah, I guess yeah, it was on the Ryan Upchurch fans page. They're talking about he's been invited to play at this country jam that Kid Rock's putting on, and so they just been reaching out, you know, inviting people, and Upchurch got invited. He's way down the bill, the smallest print on the poster, but it's a golden opportunity. I hope that he is sober and on his game, because it could make or break you, something like that. I'm not sure how many. I don't know. I mean, probably a pretty cool gig. There's a lot of good names on there that are going to be there, along with Kid Rock. But you watch the video if you haven't seen it. Upchurch fans page video talking about that. And I think there might be something about it on Instagram too. And hey, I hope he goes out there and just kills, you know, just absolutely nails it. But if he's got the gagged out geeker voice going on from too much of that Adderall, and ain't gonna happen. It's going to be a dud, like it has been. There he is, right there, man. Yep. Appreciate you tuning in, Ronnie. I really do, man. Means a lot. Means a lot. I know what you're going through. I went through that shit for a long time with my boy. He called me everything, man. You know, I did so much for him. And man, when he was on them drugs, I was his enemy. You know, I was any kind of authority, any kind of advice, microspec of criticism, any kind of questioning, and you were the biggest POS on earth, instantly. And man, it hurt. There was times it hurt to hear that shit. Yeah, I hear you. I think I'll tell you something, Ronnie. I don't know, man. I don't see him do anything like, and that was the thing I was going to talk about in this video. And in fact, I got some clips prepared for it. That's a good segue to move us into the next segment here. And hey, Dagburn, you know, if you want to, when we go to the just bullshit part of this video, I'll drop the link if you want to come on and kick it for a bit. Anyway, so much could have been done different. You know, when Upchurch first got like big, and right about the time they were doing away with Vine, and he'd went to YouTube, and I think he was like he had about 500,000 subscribers on YouTube at that time. There was another independent rap group that in South Africa called Antwoord, and it was Antwoord, word was spelled with 2 O's, WOORD. And if you've never heard them, if you've never listened to their crap, and seen their videos, because their visuals are so important today. And but right about the time Upchurch was breaking on YouTube and starting to get a lot of plays, this South African rap group, same thing. And their videos were just outrageous. You would like go back and play the video over and over and over, even if you didn't really particularly care for the song, because the videos were so outrageous. And they got a lot of spins and a lot of media and a lot of people talking about them because the videos were so incredibly outrageous. And I used to sit and think to myself back then that, you know, I honestly believe, and I'll say this, I don't care what Crack Squad thinks about it, but I think I missed my calling. I should have been a producer, or at the very least a manager for a band. I wish I would have finished audio engineering school. You know, as I've told you guys before, me and my buddy, I had a friend, me and him went partners and bought a really good PA system back in 1981. And we were kind of like partners doing sound on the weekends for rock bands. We're doing festivals and fairs. We did the Ohio State Fair 3 years in a row. And then I got offered to be the Friday and Saturday night guy at El Rosa Villa, which is a pretty famous rock club in Columbus, been there for years. And Zachariah's Red Eye Saloon. The company that we got contracted under was a company called Delight. They did stage lighting and sound for bands all around the Columbus area. And they were getting us some killer gigs. He went on to, he finished his audio engineering degree. He went on to, he got a gig on the Big Red Boat, and he was on the Big Red Boat for Disney for quite some time, doing sound for the bands, all the acts that perform on there. And then he just went on tour with several different bands over the years. But now he's full-time with Lost Lands, which is a huge promotion. It's a promo company that does these big gigs all around the country for this new electronic music that I just can't stand. But man, he's getting paid the buku bucks for being there. And right now, the toy he plays with is one of the world's most expensive and loudest PA systems. You know, and it's just 2 years ago when they were here at Legend Valley, which is just a few miles from here. I got to go backstage and help them set up and stuff. And I so wanted to put those videos out. But there was a reason why I couldn't. And that is they were all under NDAs. They're not allowed to. And I didn't want to get him in trouble. So I just didn't do it. And as much as I wanted to, but they're just not allowed. Like a spectator can do it, but the company that's getting paid for the promo, they're just not allowed. And out of respect for him, I just wasn't even going to take it there. But now that's their permanent home, Legend Valley. Like I say, just up the road here, the Lost Lands franchise. That's their home base now. And they're building a big new building up there to store all the stuff in when they're not doing shows and all this crap. They're building a restaurant and everything. It's going to be pretty cool. But I missed my calling in that regard, I do believe. And I base that on a number of things. The amount of times that I went in clubs with my PA and was told by bands that they never sounded so good, and they were never that comfortable on stage. You know, having good sound coming back at you, it makes you very, very comfortable. And when you're very, very comfortable, you do a good show. If you're having trouble hearing, your monitors are too loud, or they're not loud enough, or, you know, the mix ain't right, or it's dry, that's all a reflection of how well you perform. And so I know I'm good at it. I just know I am. And so I kind of wish I would have pursued that harder, but I never got paid a lot of money for it when I was doing it. You know, the bands that I was like when the Gods were first going around doing gigs, you know, we were splitting $1,000 between 6 people. Well, shit, take the gas out and the hotel room for the night and all that. That ain't a lot of money, man. For 2 nights, and then packing that gear in and out of the club. So I just thought it was always, I wasn't going to make any good money. And so I went another way as a mechanic and just did that as like a side gig hobby thing, you know. But anyway, when Die Antwoord was breaking and Upchurch was breaking, I thought, because it was happening at the same time, right about 2014, 2015-ish. And I was, man, I thought, God damn, man, I wish I could, you know, like talk to him, because I if he would have had, I kid you not, if Ryan would have had the right person providing the visuals and just the direction that he was going, and then the presentation, the stage presentation when he went live, if the right person was doing that, like Die Antwoord had, he would probably have 20 million subscribers on YouTube. And he would have, you know, 10 times the money he's got, because of the visuals and the live experience and the sound and all that. Now, if you guys haven't seen Die Antwoord, let me just give you just a little taste of what I'm talking about with these visuals. I chopped this up.
Jolandi, kry vir jou boetie iets om te drink.
Jolandi?
Dankie Here vir die lekker kos wat ma vir ons gemaak het, en dankie dat al ons konserte so mooi uitverkoop het in die oorsee. Wat van die nuwe FHM gaan wees. Maak en jy become
you know, the camel toe is over the top.
Baby, some fire. She got me going fucking crazy, Susamanaya.
Oh yeah, Godse Jesus.
Baby's on fire. She got me going fucking crazy, Susamanaya.
Oh yeah, Godse Jesus.
Baby's on.
You know, as you can see, it's the visuals are crazy with this, but the song ain't bad either. And we've seen this before, but it's usually never both. Okay, you either got these gimmicky, over the top visuals, but the music sucks, or the music's really good, but the visuals are lame, which is Be Loose. I mean, his videos are lame. I'm sorry, they are extremely lame. He had access to a super talent, and he made amateur level crappy ass videos that had no decent visuals in them. See what I mean? I mean, it's crazy, right? And so, but the song's an earwig too, and you're like, man, it's you know, you can't get enough, right? It's like a train wreck that you like. I don't know how else to explain it. So what have we had? You know, sexy girl, crazy bicycle stunts, crazy wheelies on a dirt bike, car smoking, doing donuts, and like just nuttiness, right? Guy chugging a Red Bull and just. Oh my goodness. He got his butt kicked and knocked his teeth. Okay. You see what I'm saying? These visuals are incredibly important. Let's just check another little piece. You can't get enough of it. And they were cracking the same time Upchurch was cracking off, exact same time. I think you freaky.
Sexy boys, fancy boys, lazy boys, bad boys. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. Motherfuckers get bossed up, boss it out, bring. Guess who's got the body jumping? Yeah, when the dog drive or pumping. It's no step break, you fuck the system. Mouse. Who the fuck is what you fuck a thing? I'm a proper chick. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. Motherfucking click, got it going on. Fuck what you think, I do what I want. I can make a million little motherfuckers jump. Jump, motherfucking jump, motherfucking 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 jump. Increase the pace, don't let the party. Fuck control over everybody. Excelani, yes. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. I think you're freaky and
You see what I mean? I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Right? I mean, it's like, which one is calling you back? The video, the song, both, but the visuals, man, they're so important today. And when you look, I mean, the lameness of a be loose.
I like you a lot. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot.
So I kept thinking to myself, every time an Upchurch video would come out, like, and I'm talking the second, when he really, Outlaw, and YZ, those were pretty good videos, right? Well, then B Loose shows up and they start trying to do this frickin' theatrical bullshit that was just too indulgent. And if you didn't understand the backstory of the song, the visuals made no sense. Okay. But yet they were too crazy to just watch because they were crazy. Like, how do I explain it? It's like, you'll watch something that makes no sense if it's just crazy, right? Like car crash videos or something like that. But if you're trying to watch something that is telling a story and you don't know the story, and it's just this whole theatrical thing, it can get boring really fast. And that video is not going to call you back. The song might, but the video won't. But when you look at this one, and if you look at like this Antwoord's portfolio, their song titles are crazy, their videos are crazy, and the music's not too bad. They got into some trouble, if memory serves me right, with some of the kids in their videos were kids they adopted, I guess. And there was some deal where they weren't getting the right amount of royalties or something. I don't know if they ever got that straightened out or not. But they had incredible visuals right from the get-go. And they were amateurs. Okay. They were just doing jump cuts with a camera and just doing stupid stuff. And we saw that in some of that in the Outlaw song, take a look. I just can't understand why, what made him steer away from, the visuals like that.
I wanna see some kids out back with 22s popping squirt. I wanna see some young guns going out on a duck hunt and lesser of this flapping bird and acting like a lazy bum. These trends got it twisted and they make country a petty style. Now where's all my country folks that actually could go survive? When that stock market crashes, I'll be somewhere deep off in these pines, killing shit, kicking ass, and taking what the hell is mine. Bubba shit, I'm used to walking tall. And if I feel you talking shit, won't second guess the jacket jaw. Today the world we live in, realness tends to wash and fade away. That's why if you ain't walking shit, then I don't care for shit you say. I'm cold with my style, boy. That backwoods, that hick town, that late night, that driving round, that George Strait crank real loud. I got a gun rack in my back glass and a big gun, it holds one.
See, that was a video right there. That video was as good as the song, right? And it was just honestly, that was probably a really easy video to make because you just have a party and you invite all your friends, you get the camera out and do some shots, right? There was nothing staged, there was nothing choreographed, none of that nonsense. And you know, we hear this argument all the time that Ryan launched Luke Combs' career. And you know, hey, he did. But Luke Combs helped, you know, launch Upchurch because that song and that video was very, very good. And I've heard Upchurch do it without Luke Combs and it sucked. And I've heard Luke Combs do it without Upchurch and it sucked. Because I went to that gig down there at that mud park in Alabama, and they tried that song, and it, no, I don't know who that guy was they had doing the country part, but it sucked. Anyway, where did that go? What happened? I don't understand. I just think if his videos would have stayed more like that, would just like showing the extreme of country hicks, and grossly exaggerating that, like, you know, bringing the real backwood hicks to the people, and shots like that, videos, you're four-wheeling and the drive shaft breaks, or just crazy stuff like that. With this man, when they started that crapper, he was like putting on these costumes, and I just think B. Loose has no clue what country hicks are. He doesn't get it. And I know, I'm almost certain that that Redneck Nation probably would have wanted to go that route too. And as soon as B. Loose got around there and Ryan got some money, that all fell apart. And I think that's what slowed down if they would have kept making videos like Outlaw, and I forget the name of the one where he's in the junkyard, slips me at the moment, but just videos like that, along with that music, it probably would have never, ever slowed down. He would have just kept accelerating. Like one of the last good songs that was produced by Stone Baby, My Yard. Be Loose. Why was there not a video to that song? Why? What the hell, man? He's singing about blowing all his money on cars and then having to drive them down a muddy driveway. And it's like, man, you could have had such an incredible video for a song like that. And no, you turn around, you do a video to some stupid ass song with a merry-go-round. What the hell, man? And I can't understand for the life of me what Ryan sees in him. As far as his, maybe as a person, I don't know. Never spoke to the guy. But I can tell you he's not a very good videographer by any stretch of the imagination, and he doesn't have a very creative taste. If you look at Nova or Tom McDonald, those videos have continued to get better and better and better and better and better, and they're really good visuals. That video he did with rhec, holy cow, man. Those visuals were crazy. The UFOs and the stuff falling down and the explosions. The other one where they were standing on a mound of skeletons. It's like Twisted says, no, Be Loose is Korean or something like that, like part Korean or I think or something. Yeah, he's just a city boy. He's a chubby little short little city boy. Ain't no country. I don't even think he can ride a motorcycle, or if he can, he probably putts around like a girl. Yeah, he's nothing country about that guy. Might be a little bit now. I don't know. I have no idea. I know there was some controversy. He says that the kid got abused by them. You understand, though, that was never proven. That was accusation. As far as I know, now I could be wrong, but as far as if memory serves me right, there was accusations of that, but it was never substantiated. The kid complained, but what teenager, honestly, what teenager doesn't complain about authority? And he kind of made a video whining that they made him be in these music videos. And it was all because he thought he was entitled to a third of their money. When as soon as he turned, I think he was like 16, he got some lawyer to go after him. Like he was entitled to a third of their money because he was in a couple of their videos for 15 seconds. I mean, so I don't know if any of that was ever proven. Like I say, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. Checking Weather says Nova Rockefeller is a very talented young lady, and she is incredible. And like I say, she's never let her taste get in the way of a video. She listens to the music and just makes content that will fit with the music. And that'll keep your eyes on the video. But when you spend the whole time in a video with the same image on the screen, you've lost your visual audience in the first minute. The one where Upchurch is walking with the army uniform on or something. That the visuals, that's so lame, man. There's nothing to see in that video that you don't see in the first 15 seconds. First 15 seconds of the video, you've seen everything you're gonna see in that video. All you're gonna do is see him walking in a different place at a different angle. Other than that, you've seen the whole video. And man, that song deserves so much more. And that Nova is so good at doing the visuals that break with a bridge, all of that. And then, man, what I wouldn't give to talk to him about a bass line and how important a bass line is, and how the entire thing should follow the bass line. And oh, man, I shriek at how different things could be with the right people. Oh, for God's sakes, listen to this dummy leave. Yeah. Oh, stalker. I'd say it's the other way around. Ryan's fans stalk Dagburn. It's the other way around. All Dagburn did was make stupid videos talking about another popular YouTuber. There is no crime in that. And everybody on YouTube has people that make reaction videos to their content. That's not exclusive to Ryan Upchurch, you simpleton. But that just goes along with having a YouTube channel and being a YouTube celebrity. People are going to make videos about you, for you, talking to you. Johnny never stalked Upchurch. He never did anything off of YouTube. And I'm sorry, Crack Squad. I'm getting so tired. And that was another subject that I wanted to touch on in this segment here, is this bull crap of you guys trying to compare something that Johnny did in a video to something you simpletons have done to him in real life. A video is harmless for a lot of reasons. One being, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. Nobody's going to make you watch it. So you don't even have to watch it, right? You don't have to watch it. If someone makes a video saying crappy stuff about you that you don't like, you don't have to watch it. You can just choose not to watch it. And then nothing they say can bother you in the slightest bit. But when you got somebody calling your job, or you got somebody calling your landlord, or you got somebody calling a local business, or you got somebody going to where you bought your car, or you got somebody, going to your mom's tombstone. I mean, those are things you can't control. Right? And I challenge you, Crack Squad. I challenge you to show me one incidence of Johnny Gobble doing anything to anyone outside of a YouTube video. And you won't be able to. Dagburn didn't go to Upchurch's Ghost Ranch. Upchurch went to Paintsville. So who's stalking who? At that time, Johnny Gobble had about, Johnny Go had about, I think, 800 subscribers. Nothing he said or did online could have had any kind of an effect or negative impact of anything, anywhere, anyhow, any place, anytime with Upchurch and his 3 million subscribers. Huh, that's cool. I heard that story too. Ronnie says he was told by Ryan that he met Luke Combs downtown Nashville playing music on the side of the road for change. And, that happens a lot. I'd said before, my mom and sister ran a horse ranch in southern Tennessee for years. It was a big foster home and horse ranch. And then one of my brothers eventually moved there with them too. And so we would make a trip down there 2-3 times a year. And we would always spend the night in Nashville and go down on Broadway and hit the bars. You never know what band. One night we were there and it was, what's his name's band was playing. He wasn't there, but his band was there. The dude, guitars and Cadillacs and hillbilly music. What's his name? I can't remember. Anyway, his band was playing that night and they were really good. You never know what you're going to see in them bars. And I saw a lot of dudes out, along the sidewalk playing, what do they call them? Buskers or whatever. So yeah, that's probably very true, Ronnie. Very true. Oh, for God's sakes. Yeah. See, that's the one though. Right. And, listen, okay. You say that, right? Now, what happened that led up to that? What prompted Johnny to do that? That's the question, right? How long did Johnny put up with Gotcha Man's real life stalking before he did that? See, because, Crack Squad tries to do the same thing with me, making a mock website, calling someone the same thing I had been called 1 million times by them. Right? Just to show them that, hey, I could be low down and dirty. I could be just as shitty as you. Don't take my kindness for weakness. That's what that was all about. And what did they do? Run to the police and try to get charges put on me. Right? Like a bunch of little sissies. They had done it to me for, I would say, arguably almost 2 years. And way more, way longer, way worse, way more times, way more egregious. And it's the same thing. When I look, Johnny made that stupid video. For one, multiple things go through my mind, you know, like Gotcha Man, or the whole thing with the Johnny's mom's grave, the whole thing of making fun of him when his mom passed away, making fun of him about his dog, the going to, I could go on and on and on and on. And that's just me like casually checking in to see what's going on. I probably missed a lot, but what's he talking? You're the only retard, you, Snaggy. You've been the biggest flip-flopping weirdo, geek, bullshitter, exaggerator there is. You've stirred more shit than a composter at a fucking city sewer system. I mean, you don't have a leg to stand on, dude. Not even close. You've made an unmitigated fool of yourself multiple times. You've hitched your wagon to every POS turd there is. And until you have a child that turns on his camera and tells 3 million subscribers you're everything but a white boy, you're not even entitled to have an opinion. Because what Ryan done to his parents was just uncalled for. Uncalled for. He not only slandered his dad, he slandered his dad's company and the people that work for him. Because Ryan's friends did a shit job that he tried to blame everybody else for, except for the people that were to blame. And now we know where the shittiness came from. We saw Deerdorf show us his carpenter skills. He doesn't have any business nailing a board to something, let alone working on any millionaire's home. He shouldn't. He should look at Ryan and say, Ryan, that is way above my pay grade. I cannot do this. You're going to need to get somebody that knows how to do it. That's what a friend would do. They would go, oh, I'll do it for you, Ron. Yeah, man. Hey, that drywall needs $900. $900 a sheet, Ryan, but it's a good stuff, man. Just give me 900. I'll run down there and get that drywall. I can do that. Oh, hell yeah, I can drywall. Then you do a shit job, and then Ryan's dad is hired to paint it, and he gets blamed for the fucking shit work. You know, who drywalls a goddamn bathroom, doesn't put a fucking ceiling fan in? And then once you realize there ain't one there, how long does that take to fix? Well, about 15 minutes. I mean, honestly, when you go buy a ceiling fan and they give you the little video to watch on how to put it in, it's a woman in the video that puts it in by herself. And the whole video from start to finish, I think, is about 18 minutes. And the fan's installed. I mean, holy cow. Oh, I could go on and on. Yeah, handy meth service, that's right. And then you got, you know, these idiots like, you know, Ripta. You know, I just, that's so disappointing to know that Ripta, instead of being the, you know, got a wife and new little baby, instead of being the responsible person, he just joined the team of enablers and all waiting on a big payday. You know. Oh, you mean that fake video he did so he could try to get Ryan to give him 10 grand? Yeah. Yeah, inside corners, for some of you that don't know, maybe you missed it. Inside corner says, did Deerdorf ever find out who broke into his vehicle at Fort Walmart? And he made this video claiming that he stopped at the bank and he took out his only $10,000 that he had, the only $10,000 he ever had. And he put it in the center console, the Hellcat that Ryan gave him. And he drove to the Walmart straight there. Didn't tell nobody where he was going. And when he went in the store to buy a Band-Aid for his dying puppy, just before he was ready to pick up his 98-year-old grandmother's life-sustaining medicine and then stop by and feed 16 homeless people, somebody broke in that Hellcat, broke the window right out, and reached in that console and took that 10 grand out of there. Now he don't have it no more. And it was the worst acting, the worst script, and the worst bullshit you ever saw. I don't know. Why would I owe Wade an apology? This is how stupid. This is what I mean about so Uncle Will's nephew, probably his gay nephew, just saying, says, PBR, you owe Wade an apology. Why would I owe him an apology? What for? I'm serious. What do you think I would owe him an apology for? What would it be for? For handing it back to him? Finally? After 40 some videos? After a year and a half of stalking me and my family and my relatives in real life? And then, or should I apologize because I had sense enough to know he was grossly exaggerating his condition in hopes that people would give him money, e-begging. And it's crazy to me that there's people out there that believed that gross exaggeration. I'm sorry, I'll say it again. I don't owe him an apology. And when he said that he was sent home with a stage 4 terminal diagnosis in his liver and his colon, and he never had to go back to the doctor and do anything for 2 years, and he sat on live streams all night long, chain smoking, day in and day out, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, nonstop with 5 monitors around him. He was grossly exaggerating and fluffing into bit. And I'd still bet today he died a run-of-the-mill colon cancer that kills thousands of people every year. And I'm sorry, man. I've been around that stuff. I dealt with it myself. And I've seen too many people that I was very close to be taken by it. And I'm sorry, you do not. And I know there's people out, oh, no, stage 4. He didn't say he was told it was stage 4 and here's a treatment plan. He told you guys that he was told it was stage 4 terminal. When you're told that, that's the diagnosis you get. only in just one organ, not two, but just one, you're going to be sent home with a hospice nurse. They're going to pump you full of painkillers until you fade away pretty quickly, let alone two organs, let alone two. My brother lasted 3 weeks from him and I going for a motorcycle ride to him being at home in hospice and passing away. 3 weeks. That's how long he lasted with a stage 4 terminal diagnosis. My wife's sister, her youngest sister, she lasted just shy of 3 months. One diagnosis, not two, but just one. I can go on and on and on. You don't live for 2 years chain smoking, running around, staying up all night, being on live streams, not getting any radiation, not getting any chemo or anything, and be at stage 4 terminal in your liver and your colon at the same time. I'm sorry, that's an exaggeration. And how do what would make us think that he would exaggerate? Well, he said on a live stream he helped his dad take the fender off his Corvette to put a headlight in it. You can't take the fender off a Corvette. It's a fiberglass body. One piece from the rocker panel, clear around the cowl and back down. It's all one piece. 2, you wouldn't have to take the fender off to put a headlight in because the headlight ain't in the fender. The headlight's in the nose cone, and every model clear up until the C8 pops straight up, and you could just reach in there and get it. And then when they did the C8 that didn't pop up no more, they put a little access door in the inner fender. There would have never been a time when you would have to take the fender off a Corvette to put a headlight in, if you could even take the fender off a Corvette to put a headlight in. You can't. And yet, he told you guys this big, long story about that, how he helped his dad take the fender off his Corvette to put a headlight in. It was a goddamn made-up fucking fairy tale. Just like his entire life, his entire existence, sitting there with Seeper, claiming that he owned 3 nightclubs and all this shit. And they both lived in a trailer park in a rented trailer. Not knocking it, but I'm just saying, if that's how you're living, I don't think you ought to be criticizing somebody else's crib when you don't even own one. You just rent one. Period. And there'll never be a day when I owe anybody from Crack Squad an apology. I didn't know Wade Deaver from Adam. Never spoke a word to that piece of shit. All I did was make a video criticizing a YouTube celebrity that was slandering a grieving family. And for that, my family was stalked, tormented, slandered, doxxed, every way but Sunday by Wade Deaver. I don't want to hear it. You can just shove it up your ass. He lied when he said he had stage 4 cancer, terminal in 2 vital organs 3 years ago. And it took him almost 3 years to kick the bucket. Didn't happen. Sorry. Take that for what it's worth. And if I kick the bucket tomorrow, it won't be because of my cancer. It'll be probably from something else. There you go. Checking the weather. Perfect comment. That's why I love reading these comments. Hold on a second. Let me God dang, it's been so long since I did that. Let's see. I was gonna. Oh, here we go. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, if you want to come up and kick it, Johnny, I'll drop you the link if you want to. It's up to you. But anyway, Checking the weather, 615. He says that dead little girl wasn't on the internet doxing and slandering people. I mean, exactly. Exactly. They didn't ask for any of this. Yeah, I agree, man. Brian would have absolutely roasted. I would say, in my opinion, Wade Deaver was way more of a creepy, like clingy, weirdo dude than Lacquer Thinner Larry was. I mean, Lacquer Thinner Larry was like way better than Wade Deaver, man. I mean, that toothless SOB. The reason why I knew for certain that, and you got to excuse me, my throat's real dry because once again, and this is really starting to tick me off because I haven't had like a really bad cold up until this year. I've had 3 of them. And I mean, usually I go all winter and I don't get sick. But you know, we got 2 kids here that are going to school. And man, I've gotten nailed 3 times this winter. And the second one tried to kill me. It literally did. It honest to God tried to kill me. And now my nose is runny, my throat's scratchy. And, you know, the kids came home with a cough and a runny nose Monday and last Monday. And now I'm starting to like think, oh crap, I'm going to have another cold. Man, I do everything to prevent it. But yeah, I got a sore throat again. Just got over it. I didn't think I'd get over the last one. So where was I? Anyway, Nick Rick says people like Uncle Will, Wade, Captain Kurt, all them people would be somebody that Upchurch would have roasted. And I agree because, man, you know, he went in hard on that Lacquer Thinner Larry dude. Well, shit, that Wade Deaver was a lot more creepier than him. That account, you know, that wasn't his name, you know, that account was extremely creepy and didn't know where the line was. And then so was his buddy, you know, that worthless lion, just zero accomplishment, Seeper. You know, there was another YouTube channel that lied daily and just painted some life online that didn't exist. Wade Deaver channel made countless videos criticizing my home, my shop, my career, all of that, when there he was living in a rented trailer in a fucking trailer park. I mean, you just can't make this shit up. I didn't know him from Adam. 40 some videos he made before I even acknowledged him. And he didn't know where the line was. He went over it many, many times. Well, I can tell you, Silverado, listen, I don't wish that on anyone. I'll say that right now. I don't wish that on anyone. But I also don't have much sympathy for somebody. If you're telling me that you're battling cancer and you're going to sit and chain smoke, you don't care about yourself enough to not smoke. I'm sorry, man. It's hard for me to feel sorry for you when you don't even have, you don't like yourself enough to fight. When you don't like yourself enough to do everything humanly possible, if not for yourself, for your wife, for your kids, it's hard for me to feel sorry for you. I don't get it, man. But that dude lived online. And man, there was one day, and I wish I would have got that clip before it got taken down, but he was messing around and his webcam got knocked down. Like it got disaimed. And dude, there was an ashtray sitting by him that looked like it hadn't been emptied in a month. The cigarette butts were piled up an inch tall up out of the ashtray. And there was ashes all over the counter and all over the keyboard and all over him. So he had been sitting in that fucking chair, chain smoking, getting ashes all over himself, all over the floor, all over everywhere with the ashtray piled a foot high. Like, oh my God, no, I got cancer, man. There was never a day he wasn't online slandering me or Johnny Gobble. That's all he did. That was his whole YouTube channel. Just like the Rusty Truck channel. That channel wouldn't exist if there was no Psychobabble or no Johnny Gobble. That channel would have no content. That's all they did, man. And yeah. Apology. Holy shit. Listen how stupid this guy is. What did I just say? What did I just say? The ones that don't pop up have an access panel in the inner fender, you fucking simpleton. And again, headlights aren't in the fender anyway. They're in the nose cone. And you literally, I made a whole video. There's already a video about this on my channel showing the access panel on a C7. It is a C7 in the video. Now, unlike you, okay, unlike Wade Deaver, I've been paid to work on Corvettes for many years. And I can show you countless photos and countless videos of Corvettes in my shop, Corvettes in every shop I ever managed. I worked at Bob McDormand and Taylor Chevrolet, the Corvette capital of the Midwest. Bob McDormand had one of the largest Corvette collections in the world. He had a Corvette of every color, trim level, and model every year since they had been made, since the first one. Some of them that he owned were like number 2 and number 3 on the assembly line. He had some of the rarest in the world. If you worked there, you worked on Corvettes, period. Or you just didn't work there. And I worked there for 17 years, little boy. And I'm well aware of how you change the headlight bulb in a Corvette. And there's never been a day that you could take the fender off a Corvette, and there's never been a day you would have needed to do such a thing. Because the ones that don't pop up have a very distinct, easy access drop-off panel. You can reach right in there. You don't even need any tools. The point isn't who knows more. The point is he was making that story up from beginning to end. That was a made-up fairy tale. His dad never owned a Corvette. He never worked on a Corvette. He never took the fender off a Corvette. He never put a headlight in one. That was a made-up story from beginning to end. Just like Seepers never owned a nightclub. I would argue he's probably never even had a job, let alone own anything. Him and his buy here, pay here minivan, Mr. Big Bucks. And you simpletons believed him the same way you believed Upchurch and the crap that comes out of his mouth. Yeah, it's funny how they, they they know everything, but they've been wrong about everything. If I sit here and think about how many times Crack Squad was wrong, think about it. I wanted to go back to this comment because I meant to highlight it and I missed it. And Nick Rick says, Ronnie, I want you to know, us OG fans know. And said, we heard Ryan talk about how he was raised right and solid family values, all that. We know. He talked about working for his dad's paint. It was all positive until you even dare try to come between him and his addiction. That's just the way it is. I listened to my son tell me I never did anything for him. My God, man. Jeez. The amount of money, cars, money, just, there was never no end. Unbelievable thing to say. Very hurtful. And drugs, drugs. So, doing got it. Yeah, Johnny Gobble. Are you still on here, Dagburn? You want to come on? I'll give you the link. Shoot me a comment there. He's probably done run off. But anyway, I wanted to talk about old Cripple T. Oh, is that you? Okay, here you go. I wanted to talk about old Cripple T. He's grifting off of Johnny. Once again, they all talk crap about him, but man, they gotta put his name in the title of a video to get some views. Talk smack about him, but if he says anything back, he's the bad guy. I think it's funny that they want to criticize him for KOing some dude that was literally coming at his wife with his fist drawn, drunk. I'd have decked that dude so fast that he wouldn't have known what hit him. Most anybody would have. Come running at a woman with your fist drawn. Danny Parker, mow your grass. What's that? There must be an inside story on that. But yeah, I just had to laugh. Old Cripple T grifting off of Johnny again, talking smack about him. Yet he's guilty of everything he accuses Johnny of and more. And I just talked about it in my last video. That dude literally labeled me the P word because I waved at some neighbor kids. Unbelievable. Oh, his grass was 4 feet high, huh? I haven't watched any of those people in so long. I probably ought to go back. Oh, you got to be kidding me. I wouldn't doubt that a bit. If you saw, I got to laugh because I don't know if you guys watch The Quartering, or I like getting caught up on things that are in the news quickly and just, get to the meat of it quick as you can. And so I like watching The Quartering. He does 4 videos a day that just kind of touches on political news that you care about. And then there's Liberal Hive Mind, which is another good channel to for little sound bites, but on there they were, and then Tim Pool, of course, but they had these clips from people that went to this supposed hands off grassroots rally against our president, and you know, with all these people that voted for him don't like him anymore, which is just nonsense. His approval ratings through the roof. He's doing exactly what he said he would do, and people couldn't be happier. You know, the people that voted for him could not be happier, and they started showing these dudes, okay, and they are all social misfits like Danny Parker, Wade Deaver, Sieper, you know, Eyes McSheffett, just absolute social misfits, you know, that don't fit into society. They don't, you know, they don't have friends. Women don't pay no attention to them. You know, you might as well show, you know, put the other simpleton in there. You know, the Rich Newbuck channel, that poor insecure son of a bitch, you know, it's got nothing going in his life, addicted to cocaine, just living a dead end existence. No woman, no friends, no social life, no nothing. Just staring at a computer monitor all day, stalking people that have less than 10,000 subscribers. It's a sad existence, you know. I mean, he don't even stalk like real celebrities. He stalks like nobodies like me and Johnny Gobble and stuff. It's like, it's craziness, right? And they start showing these dudes and they're just complete social misfits. And one of them standing there holding a sign that says that, you know, the president's a fascist. And so somebody asked him what that is. He goes, well, why is he that? Explain it to me. And this dude can barely form a sentence. And he's from just a minute's worth of talking, he figures out that, oh yeah, well, I just got this sign. I don't really know. I came here to get some money and got the sign. So we find out that these people have been getting paid. There's an app that they can sign up to receive updates, and it'll tell them that they can get $17 an hour to $24 an hour, depending on how long they stay and how big the sign is they're willing to carry around. Okay. And then they get like a bonus if they can get the sign on news. Okay. And there's, you know, here's this nerd who can't form a sentence, and he's got a very custom made sign calling the president a fascist. It's like printed all professional, and you can tell it's a professional made sign. So you know he didn't do it because he didn't even know what being fascist means. And they finally got it out of him, man. They're getting paid. And he said, yeah, I had to go to this one house where they gave me 2 signs. He even shows them the other sign they gave him. And the thing where it said they could get $17 an hour or up to $24 an hour for protesting. And it had all the rules laid out and where to go pick up a sign and sign up and get your money and get paid. It's just sad, man. But, you know, there's rich people out there that just want to cause chaos in the country and pay these loons to go out and protest. So how's he doing, man? Look at that. That's funny. Oh my God. The only thing would be better if it had a big boil there or something. Yeah, he's another one, man. Living with his mom, criticizing someone's house, criticizing someone's shop, criticizing someone's career. He lives with his mom. And then, you know, he's supposed to be a welder with a welding certificate. I've never been to a day of welding school, and I got 3 welders and weld shit all day. I've never seen that sumbitch weld nothing. He don't even own a welder, but he claimed to be a union welder. I bet that fucker ain't ever welded nothing. He probably finished the class and they gave him a courtesy diploma. You know, and that's what they do to these like disabled people. They, you know, they give them like a courtesy diploma because they knew he wasn't ever going to use it. And he didn't. You know, he lives with his mom still at his age. Well, I mean, I don't know about smart, but I do know it feels good to be right. And it's easy, right? Like, it's very easy if you just use common sense. You're probably going to be right more than you're wrong if you just use common sense. But if you don't have any common sense, kind of hard to use. I can't believe there's people that still listen to that simpleton too. Man. That guy, his in a fight between Adam Calhoun and AD, oh man, I'd go with Calhoun any day of the week. At least he's been in a fight before. Hell, you know, first thing about getting in a fight, you got to be willing to go outside. You know, if you can't even go outside, I don't know. If you're scared of your own shadow, so, and you know he's going to be extremely unfit. You know, he doesn't work. Sat in that room all day huffing weed. And I want to tell you something. You know, I've smoked on and off over the years. In fact, I got these. I don't know if you guys have tried these vapes. They got these. You can get medical marijuana, or you can get the CBD oil. I mean, these things. Oh my God, I can't believe how good they work. But if you smoke weed, and I know because I did it before, all the time, you're just going to be weak and frail, lazy. Some people can smoke and get motivated, but typically what happens is, at least in my experience and what I've seen happen to a lot of my friends, is it's really hard to be an occasional weed smoker because if you have weed, you want to smoke it. And so you end up, you know, smoking it in the morning, smoking in the afternoon, smoking in the evening, smoke. It's just a natural thing. Man, the difference in clarity, energy, focus, all that really, really suffers. And man, look how long AD's been dragging that bong. You know, he wouldn't be able to whip his way out of a wet paper bag, I'm afraid. So, well, I get you're one of them. You're one of the people that's still listening. So, I mean, there's that, right? Karaoke says, you can't believe people still listen to me. Appreciate you tuning in. What you don't hear me do is contradict myself, flip-flop, and just have diarrhea of the mouth about something and then end up being completely wrong. You've never seen that on this channel. I can guarantee you that. I've never started out a live stream telling you blue was my favorite color. And by the end of the live stream, I'm telling you that I hate the color blue. But I can tell you, AD's got a dozen videos like that where he says one thing and an hour later completely contradict it. That's when I just was like, this guy, whew, he's just talking to make noise. Yeah, I used to get a lot more. You know, I've had, man, quite a few at a time in here. But yeah, I just love watching these guys all criticize Johnny Gobble, but yeah, they got a grift off of him, and then they try to accuse him of being as low down and dirty as they are, and it just ain't true, man. It just ain't true. I never seen Johnny do anything to anybody outside of a damn YouTube video and just being funny and trolling and, you know, trying to be funny about it and have fun with it. Nothing that harms anybody, hurts anybody, does any kind of permanent damage or negative effect. Well, I don't know. See, I'm lucky to have the hair I've got. Lord says, yeah, PBR needs hymns for the balding head. But there's something I know for certain. Okay. When you're in your 60s, your hair is going to fall out. Your hair is going to fall out. Your eyebrows are going to grow like crazy. And your hair is going to grow everywhere you don't want it and stop growing everywhere you do want it. But if you go to like the church I grew up, you know, our community, and you sat clear in the back, like way in the back, and you look up through there at all them pews that my dad built, and you count all them bald heads, that's all my relatives. Every one of them that's bald, I can guarantee you that's my relative. So I'm lucky to have the hair I've got. It's just crazy. There you go. Appreciate you, bro. There you go. That's right. And he ain't. I still try to wrap my mind around why you would just piss on a friend like that. You know, I would look at somebody like that as an ally. Like one thing I guess one thing I learned early on was having good contacts. I mean, I don't care what you do in life, having good contacts is just so important. The more you got, the better off you are. And the more people that are probably willing to say good things about you, the more the merrier, right? And man, Ryan had an ally in Adam Calhoun. He did. He just absolutely did. There would have never been a day that Adam would have been publicly bad-mouthing Ryan ever. And I think if someone was bad-mouthing Ryan in the company of Adam, Adam would have said, I don't want to hear it. He would have defended him. And I mean, I don't know why you would just delete a friend like that, like for just seemingly no reason. I would think you would want as many assets as possible in that game. You know, it's such a small genre of credible people anyway. I just think you'd just be better off making friends instead of deleting them. It just, the more the merrier, man. I always had, working the career I worked, when you're the boss, people will not like you. Okay. And I figured out pretty early on that, you could talk to the people that worked for me, and the guys that did their job well would tell you I was probably the greatest boss in the world. They'd tell you they never worked for a better guy. But the guys that didn't do their job, they'd tell you I was a no good son of a bitch. I mean, that's just the way it works. And man, you want to keep those assets on your side. And I can't tell you how many times that's worked out. Like I had a technician that worked for me. I sent him to school, trained him, spent a lot of money on this dude. He got to be a very good technician. And as soon as he got making good money and really was confident and really good at what he done, he went to work for a competitor. Really pissed me off. But instead of bad mouthing him, I gave him a good review. He deserved it. Well, 8 years later, he's working for a company and they fire their regional manager, and he tells the district manager, I know a guy. And I worked that job for darn near 30 years. So, yeah, just think if I would have been a shithead to him, that door would have never got kicked open for me. And I made the best money of my life working for that company. Yeah, it was shit hours. Yeah, I had to work weekends, but the way it goes, man. Oh, what concert was this? Oh, wow. Okay. Huh. I don't know. I mean, them tickets are expensive. I'd probably stay to the last minute myself. Yeah, I hear you, but Johnny's never been mean spirited. Crack Squad can they grossly exaggerate and they try to drag him down to their level and accuse him of being everything they are. And the truth is, I've never seen him do anything mean spirited. It's always just trolling and just being goofy, harmless fun. Exactly. Okay. I learned something. Okay, so I got neuropathy as a side effect, right? In both feet. And for those of you that don't know what that is, it's like when you says man, that's expensive. He's using his tanning bed for weed. That's dumb because them tanning bed bulbs, it's $450 a set. We just had to put new ones in ours. So Kenneth Reynolds says it depends on the strain. If it's sativa or indica, one will have you couch locked, the other you can smoke and be able to work. And that's very, very true. Very true. And indica will just indica's great for young people that are extremely hyper. Like if you're like way over the top hyper, indica, definitely. Or if you want to sleep all night, sleep all day, indica, it'll just zone you out. Or sativa, will give you an uplifting, energetic sort of feel. At least that's always been my experience. But you know, the one thing I learned when I was on a quest for a method of CBD that worked for me, because I didn't want to start doing opiates due to this neuropathy, and which is because one of the things they give you for bone marrow is methadone. And the reason why you have to take that is it becomes a vehicle. The methadone is a vehicle that will carry another opiate into the right nervous system. And it's one of the best painkillers for bone marrow issues and cancer survivors due to that, right? I had to take that for like 4 months, and extremely low dose. Like I didn't feel anything from it. Like I didn't notice anything other than it deadened this gnawing pain that I had on my right side. But the neuropathy is like you have this tingling, like when you wake up and say your arm's asleep, like you laid on your arm and your arm's asleep, that feeling, well, that happens in your feet and in the palms of your hands when you get neuropathy. It's just like this burning, tingling numbness. And it can be a son of a bitch. I mean, it can keep you awake. It could make you walk real funny. It can make you real tired. And you could take, I tried hydrocodone right when I got out of the hospital, and it deadened it, but I thought, man, I don't want to be taking this on. Next thing you know, I'll be addicted to it. And so I just learned to live without it. And, but I was always on the quest for something that would deaden it a little bit during the day, you know, kind of like a toothache that you've had for a while and you just got used to it being there and you're dealing with it, right? Well, they had these little cigarellos. They kind of look like a cigarette, CBD, high in CBD, very low in THC. I tried those. They kind of worked, but too much of a weed buzz. Then I finally got this shit I'm got now, and it's real high in CBD content, real low, and you don't feel any weed buzz from it. But man, it literally deadens that neuropathy. But yeah, you're very right about that. The sativa will definitely give you a boost of energy. And I know when the last time I smoked weed, indica, now, you know, seeing Meigs County's just over the hill here, right? Meigs County, Ohio had some of the best indica, and it's still probably one of the most famous strains of indica you can get. But buddy, they've been cutting that crap. Guys have been getting trench weed and spraying it with fentanyl. And man, I'm gonna tell you something. I would be very, very, very careful about buying that shit on the street. I would go to a dispensary and get it, because that's exactly what people have been doing, man. They've been getting trench weed and spraying it with fentanyl, and people smoke it and you just sleep all day. I mean, that's all it does, is knock you out. I mean, I wouldn't want that. But yeah, it's always been my experience that the sativa would give you an up boost. But man, I am so tickled with this CBD oil that I got now. It really, really works. I was getting really frustrated because I kept hearing people say how good it worked, and I could never find anything that worked good. That shit works good. Well, you know, it's funny you say that. Ronnie says he had neuropathy in his feet. He started growing his own food organically, and it's been gone for about 6 months. I've had this shit come and go. Like there's times it'll just go away and not be there. And then there's times it'll just be annoying as hell. I mean, to the point I'm walking funny. And like walking like you're walking on cotton. And I had somebody else tell me that people say it's diet related as well. The intensity, the pain intensity can go up or down based on what you eat. I believe that to be true. Because when I was in the hospital for 9 days on that damn breather, I wasn't eating anything unhealthy. You know, they had me on a strict health diet. And, you know, when I got out of there, I didn't notice it, but it wasn't there. You know, the neuropathy wasn't bothering me much. And after I was home about a week, started in again. So, yeah, I think the right diet probably works for a lot of people, and I am absolutely going to pursue that. What I am right now, as a matter of fact. But man, this cold, damp weather we've been having here in Ohio, with it being nice one day, crappy the next, yeah, that neuropathy's been out of control. Yeah, you got to stick to the dispensary these days, guys. I'm not kidding you, man. People around here, I got friends around here that were always buying and selling and all that. And dude, I'm telling you, that shit's getting laced. They can't get away with it on the sativa, but buddy, the indica, yeah, they're getting trench weed, just crappy weed, and spraying it with fentanyl so it'll knock you out. And you think you got your money's worth, and man, you're literally smoking fentanyl and you don't know it. And man, it can literally make you physically ill and make you have the stupidest thoughts and make the stupidest decisions. Yeah, you know, when I think back, and you probably do too, Ronnie, me and my wife were talking about this the other day. Okay. My mom and dad and my grandmother and grandfather, on top of working a full-time job, okay, my mom, dad, there were 4 of us kids. They both worked full-time, and we had a huge garden that we did every year. I mean, my mom canned and all that, and we grew our own corn, all vegetables, all that stuff. And then on top of that, we went camping every weekend. My dad would race home from work on a Friday night and pack the camper up, load up the bicycles and coolers and food for the weekend. We'd haul ass to a campsite, set up, unload everything, camp till Sunday about noon, and then pack it all up and come back home. And that was his weekend. So on top of working full-time jobs, they also did a garden, and we also went camping every week. And I thought, man, where did they ever get the energy? I mean, in fact, most people be doing well to make it to work and back. Crazy the amount of work they did. Anonymous dude, Christy, it's a channel that started out anonymous dude, and he's a shameful veteran who is on disability and just doing nothing with his life. He's got social anxiety, so he stays in the house. He's afraid to go outside. He sends his wife out to do all the work. He stays in and just talks crap on the internet, contradicting himself every 10 minutes. And I mean, he's like totally addicted to weed, smokes way too much. Yeah, well, you know, I planted some of them one year and I ended up throwing more away. It's crazy how good that stuff grows. Garlic. Yeah. Krista says, amen. True. That is so true. Well, folks, I'm going to get my hind end off here. It's 12:30. It's time to go. I'll see you on the next one. And, you know, I wish Ryan would just find it in his head that what he did to the Rodneys was wrong and stop this victim shit, because he's not going to get anywhere with it. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one, man. Have a good one.